wild animals, and wild places. They're more than a picture. They're inspiration, excitement, and adventure. Patrolling and protecting these natural resources is a first-class band of peace officers. These are the Wardens, dedicated to the preservation of our great outdoors. This week on Wardens.
When we see people dumping multiple 5-gallon buckets into their cars, then we know it's suspicious and they should get checked.
Go into that same SUV that we had somebody going to earlier.
How much am I over?
That's 25 in there.
That's 25?
Yeah.
Michigan conservation officers go to work every day to protect the natural resources of the Great Lakes state. They want the state's citizens and visitors to enjoy the natural resources, but not take advantage of them. Following the rules is often toughest for some hunters and anglers when a resource is plentiful. In Michigan's District 9, the last 2 weeks of May typically bring an abundance of spawning white bass to the Detroit River.
All right, I've got another good one, so you can either take that one or wait for the other one. That's the gray Ford pickup that you can see the tailgate of.
During the peak spawning run, many anglers are able to catch their Detroit River limit of 25 white bass in a short amount of time. Some fishermen are tempted to keep more than they're allowed. Officer Danielle Zubek is part of a group of COs patrolling white bass anglers. She's watching a pier from a distance to identify potential over-limit cases.
No matter how many times we do this patrol, people just keep coming back and they keep violating. I'm not sure what it is about this spot, but we could sit back here and patrol all day long and they're going to keep doing it.
Officer Zubek receives word to be on the lookout for a black Ford pickup truck. Upon getting behind the truck, CO Zubek signals for the driver to pull over.
How you doing, sir?
Good, officer. How you doing, man?
Good. You got some fish in the back?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, sir. You mind stepping out and showing me your fish? Okay. Thanks, sir.
All I did was call my 25 and got out of there.
All right. That's what I like to hear. They biting pretty good today?
Oh, yep. I can count them for you.
I'll count them for you. You don't have to get all dirty.
But what if I had like 26? I mean, I might have lost count, but
All right. We'll count them. 4, 25.
it's by the rules.
Thanks, sir.
My hand's kind of dirty. But
Appreciate
I'm
it.
an officer to performance, so I fish by the rules. I don't shoot, not worth it.
Okay.
But just come back tomorrow,
Hey.
pay 25 more. So,
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, officer. I appreciate you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate all your participation.
As a part of the same patrol, Officer Dave Schomburger is in an unmarked vehicle and watching anglers. He's keeping track of fishermen who put white bass in their vehicles and then return to the pier to continue fishing.
We're doing surveillance on Elizabeth Park. The anglers will be fishing from shore, catching white bass, and they're going to be dumping them back in their trucks. We've got 4 chase vehicles that are going to conduct traffic stops on them when they leave to count their fish, check their licenses.
CO Schomburger watches a man in a red jacket first dump a bucket of fish into a cooler in his trunk and then head back to the water.
Bucket number 2.
Approximately an hour and a half later, the same fisherman returns with another bucket of fish and leaves the park.
In my experience in the past, that a limit of 25 per day can fit into a 5-gallon bucket. So when we see people dumping multiple 5-gallon buckets into their cars, then we know it's suspicious and they should get checked.
Gonna have you take this next one about an hour and a half ago. He brought 1 5-gallon bucket up. We dumped a second one. Maybe a silver Chrysler 200, black male, red sweatshirt. He's got a hat on, white hat.
Officer Brad Solori is on the other end of the radio and getting in position to locate the vehicle CO Schomburger has described.
He's leaving now.
Clear.
Conservation officer, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good. Doing some fishing today?
Just leaving.
Okay. Just gonna take a peek at what you got for fish and your fishing license real quick. You wanna step out with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm carrying a concealed weapon too.
Okay, you got a weapon on you?
Yes.
Where's it at? Don't reach for it or anything. Okay. Okay.
I got license. And stuff.
Okay. You got it. Where's your wallet at?
In my wallet. Back pocket.
In the back pocket?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and grab your wallet. How many fish you get today?
I think I got about 30.
More than 25?
Got about 30.
Okay. He's gonna count your fish real quick.
Officer Solori is joined by CO Adam Boytine.
Did you count them or?
No, not really.
No, okay.
Right there.
Okay. All right. Okay. You ever get a ticket by the DNR for anything?
Yeah, about 4 years ago.
For what?
Over the limit. I was on the boat though.
Oh, for what did you over limit on?
Oh, silver bass.
Same thing? Okay.
On the Detroit River in southeastern Michigan, a species of fish that's often overlooked by anglers is white bass. The spawning run for white bass, also known as silver bass, is usually the last 2 weeks of May.
Right as the walleye season starts kind of winding down, water temperatures start picking up. We get white bass moving in from Lake Erie, and it's a tremendous fishery. It's actually the highest caught fish on the Detroit River. Last time we did a survey was in 2015, and about 500,000 white bass were caught.
As part of a group patrol for white bass on a busy Sunday in May, Conservation Officer Dan Walzak is checking fishermen on boats as they return to shore.
Good morning, sir.
What are you doing?
Good. Officer Walzak, DNR. How was your trip out there today?
Oh, pretty good.
Good. How many fish did you guys get today?
Oh, we got the limit.
Okay.
After checking the licenses of all 3 fishermen, Officer Walzak takes a look at their catch.
You just in the 2 coolers?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna take them over here to the grass. I'm gonna dump them out and make a quick count. 43 in there. $70. 72. 74. 75. There's your limit right there.
We got 1, 2, we got 7 over.
Yes, sir.
Just counting for a second.
Yeah. Who kept count?
I called myself a
I did too.
Tell you the truth. I ain't gonna lie about it.
Well, there's your 75 right there. Do you have any more fish in the boat?
No. You want me to check the truck too?
Okay.
You welcome to look.
I appreciate that.
No, yeah,
I will take a quick look, but go ahead and take these over there. I'm gonna leave those right here. Okay. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
As a part of the same patrol, Officer Danielle Zubek has been watching 2 men load fish into a light-colored SUV.
Go into that same SUV that we had somebody going to earlier. They both picked up 1 cooler together. So that means that cooler's pretty heavy.
When she sees the SUV approach her vehicle, she gets into position to follow them and investigate their fish.
It's gonna be a tan Cadillac.
You want to dump them all in the street?
Can we just pull that out? Need help? How many you got?
To be honest with you, I ain't even counting. I just left.
Okay. Is this your cooler and that's his cooler?
That's separate. This is mine.
Okay, so that's his up there. Do you know what your limit is for white bass?
30?
25.
This man says he thinks the white bass limit is 30. Officer Zubek begins counting the fish in his cooler.
So even if your limit was 30.
I figured a whole 30. So how much am I over?
That's 25 in there.
That's 25?
Yeah.
Okay, so
even if your limit was 30.
So I'm 15 over?
Yep.
I said it hold about 30. I thought that was the limit. I'm just being honest with you, but yeah, I see it hold more.
Okay. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to let you keep your limit. Okay. You can have that. So go ahead and put that back in your truck. And then we'll deal with this in a second. Can we grab out your cooler?
I don't know. This cooler bigger than mine, though.
Knowing that the first angler is over his limit, CO Zubik begins counting the white bass caught by his fishing partner.
That's 25. You can load that one back up as well. 25. 25, yep. All right, hang out for me a second. I gotta take care of some stuff in the truck, and I'll be back with you, all right?
Michigan conservation officers work together frequently, but many of their workdays are spent operating solo out of their service vehicles. Officers have less opportunity to interact with COs from other districts than their own. One chance where officers can interact with each other, and in a more informal setting, is the MCOA Walleye Tournament. The Michigan Conservation Officers Association is a fraternal organization for Michigan COs and their supporters.
Our main goal with MCOA is raise money for whether it's our own with a terminal illness or a surgery or some kind of family emergency to other law enforcement officers around the state. We'll get together, raise money, and then donate the money to the families.
The MCOA fishing tournament started in 2010 as a friendly competition with 8 teams and around 30 people, to over 30 teams and 150 fishermen in 2018. Many of the tournament's participants are COs, but representatives from the DNR's 8 other divisions also join in to fish for walleye and help a good cause.
I started the tournament as a way to get officers from around the state together, for the camaraderie, and we only get together a couple times a year for training. So I thought, what a great idea, get everybody together on the west side of Saginaw Bay. We've got an awesome walleye fishery here.
You on the kayak?
Thanks to many sponsors, the MCOA fishing tournament has grown to include close to $3,000 in cash and prizes for the teams involved.
MCOA is designed to help people. And this tournament kind of does it, and it gets together the officers from around the state to kind of unwind before a busy summer.
Conservation Officer Brad Solori has stopped a fisherman who another officer witnessed putting more than one 5-gallon bucket of white bass into his vehicle. The angler informed Officer Solori that he's carrying a concealed weapon and has a license to do so.
And where's your weapon at? It's on your side?
Right.
Okay, I'm just gonna secure it for the stop. You're gonna get it back, obviously, so. Is it loaded, one in the chamber?
Yes.
Okay. All right, do me a favor, you don't have any other weapons?
No.
Just go ahead and stand at the back of your vehicle for me. Over?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
CO Adam Boytine is assisting Officer Solori and determined that this suspect caught more than his legal limit of 25 white bass.
All right, Mr. You got a ticket for over limit, obviously. You can only keep 25 white bass, as you know. So there's a number to the court. You got to contact them within 3 to 10 days. They'll tell you what the fine is. You have any questions on that?
No.
Your firearm's clear and good to go. I appreciate you being cooperative with us. I'm going to get that back to you.
Officer Solori places the man's firearm on the passenger seat of his vehicle, and CO Boytine returns his cooler to his vehicle's trunk. In this case, for possession of more than his legal limit of white bass, this fisherman paid a court-ordered fine of $250.
All right. Any questions? All right, sir.
Including $125 in restitution for the 13 white bass by which he was over his limit.
All right, man, thanks. Yep.
The white bass are very easy to catch, and we all know that there are a lot of fish out in the river, but it's a matter of protecting the resource, setting limits on certain fish, so that nobody or groups of people can't go out and just take all they want. If everybody did that, it would only be a matter of time before the fish would be depleted in any water source.
Michigan Conservation Officer Dan Walczak has encountered 3 fishermen who caught 82 white bass between them when the limit on the Detroit River where they were fishing is 25 per angler. The men are not sure how many fish they each caught.
Well, here's what I can do. I can split those up amongst the 3 of you, write 2 for 2 over, 1 for 3, that'll count for the 7, or write 1 ticket for 7 over.
Yeah, I write it to me.
No, you write it to me.
One of the fishermen says he'll take the hit for all 7 fish by which they were over their limit.
There's no such thing as a boat limit, but a lot of people think that there is. So they just count until they get, say like these 3 gentlemen right here, count until they get 75, and then typically they quit. But that could mean that somebody catches 25, somebody catches 30, somebody catches 20. That's not exactly legal. 25 plus the 7 makes 32, where the limit is 25. And here says that I see 7 white bass. Any other questions, gentlemen?
No, thank you, man.
All right.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
In this case, for possession of an over limit of white bass, this angler paid a court-ordered fine of $230, including $55 in restitution to the state for the 7 fish by which he was over his limit. As part of the same patrol, Officer Danielle Zubek has pulled over 2 fishermen who are also over their limit of white bass.
So we have 2 guys. They're clearly way over limit. They're stating that they thought the limit was 30. Even though they thought the limit was 30, they're way over that amount as well. So both of them are going to get citations today for over limit.
Officer Brad Solori arrives on the scene to assist CO Zubek.
Fish pile on the left is the guy on the right's over limit. Fish pile on the right is the guy on the left's over limit.
You already gave them their limits back?
Mm-hmm.
I know just because I'm new to this don't mean anything, but how does this work? I mean, I was over, and what? It's like, do I get fined per fish, or it's just one price?
So it'll be per fish, and they're going to be weighed, and that's how they're going to come up with the total
So
of
you
it.
get charged a fine for being over limit.
Okay.
And then there's restitution back to the state per fish. So.
Are we talking about fish?
Yes.
Restitution?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like it. Okay.
But you'll have to contact the court. They'll tell you what the fine is. So we don't know what the fine is yet, obviously.
If you purchase a fishing license, hunting license, anything like that in the state of Michigan, by you purchasing that license, it's your responsibility to know all rules, regulations, and everything that goes with it. They give out free hunting and fishing guides at any retailer that you can pick up, and it has all the rules and regulations in it. It's the responsibility of the hunter or fisherman.
Where you buy your license, they have fishing guides laid out on the counter there.
Yeah, I understand that, but I was saying, by me being new to this, when I bought it,
Right.
they not really entitled to tell me, hey, you know, it's a limit. You got.
They don't. I mean, obviously, they don't have time to explain the, multiple fishing laws that are there in the state and every limit for every single fish. That's just not feasible. They can't do that.
So I understand. I was just since
Okay.
I knew, like.
One of these fishermen mentioned repeatedly that he's new at this.
If he does decide to go to court and he brings it up that, oh, it was my first time out, I've never fished before, then that'll be one thing we can use in court. So he bought a license last year. He bought a license in 2015, 2010, 2009, 2008, and 2007. So yeah, he lied saying that he's never fished before.
In this case, for catching an over limit of white bass, one angler paid a court-ordered fine of $185, including $80 in restitution. His friend was also assessed a court-ordered fine of $185, including $90 in restitution, but hasn't paid the fine and has a warrant out for his arrest.
Well, overall, that was a good stop. One guy 18 fish over, the other guy 19 fish over. That's what we're here for, is protect the resources.
This week on Wardens, the Forestry Division of the DNR hosts a workshop to exchange information about firefighting equipment and tactics. One officer in District 3 communicates using skills he learned as a teenager.
I know a little, okay? All right, very little.
And other D3 officers collaborate to get a drunk boater off the water.
Secure the boat while they take him to the jail.
All this week on Wardens. Wild animals and wild places. They're more than a picture. They're inspiration, excitement, and adventure. Patrolling and protecting these natural resources is a first-class band of peace officers. These are the Wardens, dedicated to the preservation of our great outdoors. Water is important to the people and agencies of Michigan. Residents and visitors can take their pick of how to enjoy the state's waterways, from over 36,000 miles of rivers and streams to 4 of the 5 Great Lakes that border the Mitten. Michigan conservation officers strive to protect this valuable resource and to keep safe the people who take advantage of this nearly limitless recreational opportunity. In Michigan's District 3, Officer Dwayne Boudreau and Lieutenant Mike Fagan are patrolling from a boat during the Venetian Festival in Charlevoix. Lieutenant Fagan, whose rank was sergeant at the time of filming, and CO Boudreau have witnessed some differences in boaters and anglers from when their careers began.
I think it is changing. I think people are a little bit more compliant than what they were, at least when I first started here.
I would agree. You don't find nearly as many people without licenses these days.
No. And even the life jackets and marine safety issues, people are compliant. Most of them are trying to abide by the rules. Some of them they may not understand, but most of the people I've encountered this summer have all been right in line.
And that's what we want. We want compliance. How you doing?
Good.
How's the fishing?
Pretty good. Can't find a good pattern really all the time. How are you guys doing?
Good. There you go. Got another life jacket on board for you?
Yeah, there's one here and one right here.
Okay, perfect. And you got a throwable, like a seat cushion throwable? Okay, and what about no, there's your fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher.
Yep, looks good.
Horn.
Perfect. Well, hopefully you brought you some luck tonight.
Hey, we got some nice ones. We're just waiting. It's kind of a wall now, but.
Right. Well, good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Catch a big one. Really outdo them, okay?
Okay. It does.
Good job. Have a nice night.
Meanwhile, also in District 3, officers Matt Thunick and Tim Roshaki are patrolling the Sheboygan River on a Saturday evening. The entirety of the Sheboygan River is a slow, no-wake zone.
A lot of people go and they'll temporarily moor their boats, and it's quite a ways long as far as along the shoreline, and then it goes out quite a ways too. A lot of times it's a good family spot for the kids to swim. You can not expend a lot of money on gas and sit there and listen to some music and whatnot.
A singer and a guitarist playing on a floating stage draw a large crowd of boats and swimmers. Officers Thunick and Roshaki chat with some of the people enjoying themselves.
How's it going? Good.
But do not encounter or observe any violations. Later in their shift, COs Thunick and Roshaki encounter a woman paddling a kayak.
How's it going? Good. I'm doing good. Do you have a life jacket with you? You don't. All right, can I have you come over here real quick? Where'd you put in at?
Just over, our house is just around the corner.
Just around the corner? Okay. You know you have to have a life jacket on these, right?
Oh, I didn't realize it was required.
Yep, it is. We just had a drowning the other day from a kayak without a life jacket, okay?
Okay, I'll head back
So we're gonna keep you right in sight here. Okay. And we're gonna get you back there, okay? And then we'll talk to you a little bit more when we get there.
Each year, the Roscommon Equipment Center, or the REC, in the northern part of Michigan's Lower Peninsula, hosts a workshop to share information about firefighting equipment and tactics. It's an opportunity for agencies from around the country to learn from one another and check out equipment that they may not be familiar with.
Today we have multiple agencies from several states to go over technology, to go over different firefighting tools, different equipment uses for different applications for firefighting. And so we all work together to come up with different ideas and kind of put them all together to make our operations work smoother when we're fighting forest fires.
This is a great opportunity to come out, see other states, fire suppression equipment, and to see new equipment. In Wisconsin, we're very tractor plow orientated. When we come to Michigan like this, we're seeing the Skidgen, the Humvees, and other forms of equipment.
We've got our 52B fire plow on the back.
The REC is a national program that strives to assist state and local firefighting agencies with their design needs for wildfire equipment. Attendees of the REC's annual workshop are asked to provide a presentation about firefighting equipment and strategies to advance the sharing of ideas. With different terrain, climates, and fire situations across the country, tactics tools and their effectiveness can vary.
Having the right tool for the job is a big part of what we're doing today. And looking at all this different pieces of equipment, we can build the equipment and stage it and put it in areas that's going to be beneficial for the use.
Attendees of the workshop are also given the opportunity to operate equipment that they may not be familiar with. A wide array of machines is typically available for testing.
This is our initial attack tractor plow unit in Wisconsin, and there was a concern about operator protection, and we've teamed up with Storm King Technologies, and we came up with this curtain idea. The curtains is on board, and we can deploy it in the event of a burnover. This curtain allows us, in the event of a burnover, to have a survivable environment.
The Marshmaster works real well. I was actually had it on one of the fires that I was responsible for. I was the incident commander on, and it was a marsh fire. We couldn't access it. It was all standing water on it. And the Marshmaster that's here today arrived on the fire, was able to access the swamp, and we're able to get into it and get the fire controlled, pretty rapid pace. So it can go on land, but it also has pontoons. So if there's standing water, it can float across, so they can actually keep moving, go across, standing water and swamps and marshes, and keep going. So it's a boat and a firefighting piece of equipment. The flamethrower works real well for getting our prescribed burning. We do a lot of prescribed burning across the state for wildlife habitat, for cultivation purposes. Sometimes you need to have a flamethrower like that you can actually travel around, put enough fire on the ground to get the heat generated to be able to meet our objectives. If it's a prescribed burn, maybe we're trying to set back the red maple, to establish enough heat, and you have the application there to be able to do it. Or maybe we're trying to get rid of some slash piles in a red pine stand, and that's been sitting through the winter time, has a lot of moisture in it, and the flamethrower provide extra heat to be able to get those piles going where our typical practices may not be beneficial.
It's really neat seeing what people are doing with fire equipment, along with how they're building it. We have an R&D center in Wisconsin also, and it's neat seeing all the other equipment, different equipment, set up as a fire suppression unit.
When we're able to get all of our tools together from different agencies, it makes it better for the public, the firefighters on hand for safety, and to be able to get the job done with minimum impact to the lands.
Conservation officers Matt Thunick and Tim Roshaki have encountered a kayaker who doesn't have a life jacket aboard her vessel. That's a violation in Michigan.
Life jackets in the name, you know, they're there to save lives. We have drownings, and majority of them are involved people not wearing or not having a life jacket. 2 this year that I've been on, you know, no life jacket, and 1 involving a kayak that flipped, no life jacket. So I mean, they're critical, they're important. That's why the law states that you have to have one on board your vessel.
After watching the kayaker reach land safely, the officers follow up with her.
You were super close to home, all right? So I get it. It's nice. You're probably used to going out and paddling and all that kind of stuff.
I just wasn't really thinking
so,
even putting the
it's required on a kayak or a canoe, okay? Anytime you're out on the water with anything, life jackets. So our #1 fatality when it's waterborne is people on kayaks and canoes, believe it or not, because they don't think, I don't need a kayak, I don't need a life jacket when I'm on there. I'm just paddling, nothing's gonna happen, but then inevitably something does happen and your kayak or canoe fills with water, and it's not a flotation device, right? So, so that's just kind of that. So I'm just gonna write your name down. Obviously,
I have a question. Does it have to be actually on?
It does not have to be on. It just has to be on the boat with you, so that if you do happen to flip, that you can get to it.
Yeah.
Easily accessible.
Easily accessible. Yeah. So not like stowed in one of the dry compartments. Does that make sense?
Like just on the back.
A lot of people use it as a cushion on their back.
Yeah.
You know, or on one of those things. So that's just kind of how we're going to handle that. Okay. Okay. She was not very far from the cabin that she left from, so essentially there we just escorted her back, made sure she got back safe. Gave her a warning for the no life jacket thing. She had one sitting there right there on the dock. She had the intent of bringing it with her. Obviously just kind of forgot it there. You know, the river here is shallow. People kind of tend to forget those things. It's calm here. I understand what's going on, but it's still something that we had to address.
In a northern county of Michigan's Lower Peninsula, conservation officers Matt Thunick and Tim Roshaki are patrolling some of the state's waterways on a pristine summer day. They are about to return to the Sheboygan River, which is a slow, no-wake zone.
Kind of a healthy mix of people, you know, getting from point A to point B. Behind me here eventually gets out to the locks that lead to Lake Huron. So a bulk of the traffic will go out there to kind of experience going through a lock. And then the other way here brings us out to Mullet Lake. We're kind of in a forked area right here, and this is the Black River actually. And this stretch of river, you can actually operate at full throttle. So there is no wake violation in this stretch of river, but kind of where we're sitting right now is a really good area to get people coming off of the Black River, where they can operate up on plane coming into a slow no wake zone. Sometimes they take a little bit longer to drop their speed, and then at that point it's kind of where we'll make contact with them.
Officers Thunick and Roshaki spot a boat that is going faster than it should be.
Have them pull into one of the docks.
Can I have you pull into one of these slips here? We're gonna come up and chat with you for a quick second. Saw him at a distance kind of going a little bit greater than slow no wake. It wasn't anything really aggressive, but it was something worth stopping and talking to him about. Pulled up alongside him and immediately realized they were speech impaired. And so I used to know a little bit of sign language. Back in my middle school days, I took some classes. All right, I know a little, okay? All right, very little, all right? So we'll probably write a little bit, okay? I was able to kind of initiate conversation with them. Told them that I know a little bit of sign language, but we'd use some paper and chat back and forth. So we were able to talk with them that way, okay? So. So your waves, okay? So the waves off the back of the boat, does that make sense?
Down.
Yep, down, yep. So, okay, so, okay, all set, thank you. So, all right, so, thank you. So, they were really happy with it, and they definitely understood what we were out there for.
From his vessel, Officer Thunick retrieves a digest with boating rules and regulations and gives it to the boat's captain.
So good? All right, thank you. Thank you. So.
How you doing tonight? Good.
You have a stern light?
A little to the west, but still in District 3, and now after dark. Lieutenant Mike Fagan and Officer Dwayne Boudreau have spotted a boat that doesn't have all of its appropriate lights.
You got to get it plugged in to be out here. I mean, you're moving around and
What's that?
you're going to have to get it plugged in or head in. I mean, it's a safety issue. As you're going away, nobody can really see you. What about right here? Right here where the flashlight's shining?
Oh, that's right there.
Yeah, pop the cap and...
Yep. Okay.
There you go.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Just want to make sure you're safe out here. Yep. You guys all set for life jackets and everything?
Got them all right here.
Perfect. All right, have a nice night.
You too. Take care. Thanks for helping us out with showing us where that was.
No problem.
Michigan Conservation Officers Matt Thunick and Tim Roshaki are contacting the operator of a boat that is going too fast. The entirety of the Sheboygan River where they are patrolling is a slow, no-wake zone.
I'll have you just keep it in a straight line. We'll pull up alongside you and then you put her in, or you're good right there. She's keeping straight. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Good. The reason I'm stopping you is we're in a slow no wake portion of the river here, okay? So what does slow no wake mean to you, sir?
It means no wake.
Okay.
I understand that.
When you came past that green can, we were sitting right there at the dock and you were throwing considerably more than what I would say would be a no wake. Would you agree with that?
I didn't think so, seriously.
So you had white water coming off of behind you,
okay.
Absolutely. All the waves behind you had white water coming off of them.
Okay,
That
I have like,
definitely kind of what we would classify as being awake at that point. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes,
okay.
it does.
So,
I totally understand it. I'm
perfect.
sorry that
So,
I did that. I have 2 notches here.
Okay.
And I, you know, did this thing, and I, okay.
Just must have been up one too much. So good.
Yeah,
he took over for me because I hit a stump back there.
Oh, did
so,
you?
Yeah.
So it kind of moved over
Number
to.
13. I did it. I did it the other day
They're
too.
close in there. Do you guys have life jackets on board? I just need to see 2 adult-sized life jackets, a fire extinguisher. Perfect. There we go. And the fire extinguisher is. Oh, I see it just in the corner right there. Yep.
And
perfect.
I have another one under there.
Perfect. That's very good. So, you guys been drinking it out there today?
I had a couple beers.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
I haven't.
Are you feeling like you're under the influence of alcohol
no, I
at
do
all?
not.
Okay.
We took it very easy today.
Easy
We were
today.
Just out there. And,
Do you mind just lifting your glasses so I can take a peek at your eyes?
Yes.
So, okay. So we're very good. How far are you heading today?
Right to the ramp.
Just right to the ramp. Okay. So, very good. If you, sir, I'd have you step here. I just want to just make sure everything's good. Okay. It's just kind of part of what we do when we're patrolling. I'm just gonna have you have a seat right here. Just right in the seat. Yep. Yep. So just have a seat right there. I'm gonna have you look right at me, okay, and lift your glasses up to your forehead, okay? Yep, just like that. Yep, just so they're resting there. I just want you to stare right at the tip of my finger, okay? So just with your eyes and your eyes only, just follow the very tip of my finger. Does that make sense?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. All right, let's start right back here again. All right, real good, sir. I appreciate that. So as soon as I hear back on the radio, we'll get you guys back to the launch, okay?
Central 3102.
So, all right. So, real good. All right. You guys have a very good afternoon, okay?
Okay,
so,
officer.
Thank you very
sorry
much.
about the weight.
Hey, that's okay.
I keep it down. I do.
Yep.
But I have 2 notches, and you know,
Hey,
MC hit those
I get.
stumps, got in there. I got out. I'm kind of like, want to get it out. Look at my props.
Okay. So very good.
Sorry.
Okay. That's okay. Thank you very much, folks.
Meanwhile, in the western end of District 3, Lieutenant Mike Fagan and Officer Dwayne Boudreau are working past daylight while the fireworks go off during Charlevoix's Venetian Fest. Lieutenant Fagan's rank was sergeant during the time of filming.
Right, currently we're following this boat into shore. They don't have any navigational lights. They blew a fuse. They don't have one to replace it. So we're making sure they get back to the launch safely. Meantime, we just got a call from our other boat. Sounds like they have a drunk. So once we get these people in safely, we're going to head over there and help them secure the boat while they run their individual in for testing, take them to the jail.
After assisting the boat that blew a fuse, Lieutenant Fagan and Officer Boudreau meet up with Officer Andrea Arrett, who lets them know where the boat whose captain is being arrested is trying to go. The boat is being driven back to its dock by a different driver, while its captain is being taken to jail.
That's the dock's the other side of the access site.
Okay.
So they're between the access site and the landings. He's dock J.
Okay. We want to make sure everybody's safe out here, and one of the biggest safety issues is people operating while intoxicated. That's where people get injured and hurt, and so that is one of our main priorities when we're out here, is to make sure that we're addressing that issue, because it is a reality that, you know, especially events like this, people have been out all day long in the hot sun, they've been drinking, and it starts catching up to them, and they start heading in at the end of the night, and this is where we run into a lot of it.
In this case, the boat's original captain pled responsible to no navigation lights and careless operation of a boat and paid a court-ordered fine of $230. Most importantly, a drunken boater was taken off of the water and spent the night in jail rather than potentially causing an accident.
I think they're probably good. Looks like they're tying up. Yeah. You guys all set?
Yeah, thanks a lot. We found the right slip.
All right. Have a safe night.